I'm Rachel with Powerhouse Theatre. I'm the resident choreographer, but today we're going to be talking about dialects. And what are the ethics of learning a dialect? Well, let's talk about the overall goal. The goal is to disappear inside the character's story and to take on the character's behaviors, value system, fears, and dreams and reveal that truth to an audience. In other words, let the part play you. Mastering a dialect is an art, not a science. The goal is to do it credibly and accurately without ostentation. So now we're going to cover a few points of entry. Learning a dialect is essentially an exercise in mimicry. It comes easily for some, but is harder for others. But there are multiple points of entry, and we're going to cover those now. First, we're going to talk about oral posture. The point of placement for standard American words resonate in the middle of the mouth. But for a Brooklyn dialect, you want to change the facial structure so that the words and point of placement resonate in the lips or the chin, using the jaw and front and bottom of teeth. Put your lip corners very far forward, lips doing a lot of the work. Resting words in the bottom of our jaw. The accent is down in the lower jaw, creating a north glide because of the extension. Next, we'll talk about popular stereotypes. So you want to establish a dialect without pandering to expectations or a cliche. You do not want to sound like a popular stereotype. And as for the Brooklyn dialect, actors should do their best not to perpetuate the gangsta stereotype. On the contrary, stereotypes give the actor a place to grab onto, a place to start with the dialect. Sometimes the dialect can give an actor a very strong beginning to learning an accent before an actor begins to own it as their own. So don't be afraid of stereotypes, but don't abuse them. The last point of entry for learning a dialect is key sounds, consonant and vowel substitutions and changes. This is the technically correct way to learn an accent, and something we will go over in greater detail later on. Overall, you want to give way to the rhythm of the language and not be tyrannized by the written word. A good dialectician captures intonation, rhythm, and tone of the dialect, as well as the phonemic features. Let the text lead you. The Newsies script writing itself represents the speech of the characters, using spelling or misspelling to capture the accent, and even something of their informality, mood, and purpose. The text often gives suggestions or clues to how certain words should be pronounced. Lastly, let's go over some rules of conduct. Number 1, the text must remain fully understandable and the accent must not get in the way of the audience being able to fully understand and hear the dialogue. A dialect requires the double duty of factual and artistic truthfulness. Don't let the accent get in the way of communicating. Number 2, we want to establish uniformity of sound while remembering that even members of the same culture or family do not have monolithically all the same accent. This just doesn't happen in real life, even when people are subject to the same influences. Different speech styles and variation exist in real life. And the third rule of conduct, we want to talk about idiolects, the way the individual speaks. An idiolect is the application of establishing an individual footprint by way of sound and the variation of sound within a dialect. Remember, mastering a dialect is an art, not a science. You want to lose the perfectionism and have fun. Thanks for watching today's video. I'm Rachel with Powerhouse Theatre. We'll see you next time.